Elon Musk thought he was about to embarrass another celebrity trying to play entrepreneur. Ariana Grande appeared to be just another pop star with unrealistic tech dreams, exactly the type Musk loved to crush publicly. Miss Grande, I've built rockets and revolutionized electric cars. What makes you think you understand technology? He said with his signature intimidation. But when Ariana Grande opened her laptop to show what she'd really been working on, everything changed in ways that would shock the entire tech industry. If you want to see how a pop star outsmarted the world's most powerful tech mogul, watch this entire story and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking confrontations that mainstream media won't show you. The Tesla headquarters conference room buzzed with tension that Tuesday morning in March 2025. Elon Musk, the world's richest man with a net worth exceeding $300 billion, sat at the head of a gleaming black table surrounded by his top executives. His reputation for destroying unprepared entrepreneurs in these very meetings had become legendary in Silicon Valley. Tech blogs regularly featured stories of brilliant minds who walked into Musk's boardroom confident and left utterly defeated. The South African-born billionaire had built his empire through a combination of visionary thinking and ruthless business acumen. From PayPal to Tesla to SpaceX to Neuralink, Musk had consistently stayed ahead of the technological curve by identifying promising innovations before his competitors. But his success had also bred an arrogance that many in Silicon Valley whispered about behind closed doors. Elon doesn't just defeat ideas he doesn't like, a former Tesla executive had once told TechCrunch anonymously. He destroys them so thoroughly that the people who proposed them question their own sanity. This particular morning, Musk was especially confident. His assistant had briefed him on the day's appointments, and the 10 a.m. meeting with Ariana Grande seemed like it would be nothing more than an amusing interruption before returning to serious business. Ariana Grande, at 31, had requested this meeting through her representatives 3 months earlier. Her team claimed she had developed revolutionary technology that could transform multiple industries. Most of Musk's advisors had dismissed the request immediately. A pop star wanting to discuss tech innovation with Elon Musk seemed like an elaborate publicity stunt designed to generate headlines rather than serious business. But Grande's persistence had been remarkable. Her lawyers submitted a 200-page technical document that even Tesla's engineers admitted contained legitimate scientific concepts. The filing included references to peer-reviewed research, university partnerships, and preliminary patent applications. Still, when Musk finally agreed to the meeting, he made it clear this would be nothing more than an amusing distraction before his real work began. "I'll give her 15 minutes, Musk had told his chief technology officer, Dr. Sarah Chun, the night before. Then we'll politely explain why entertainers should stay in entertainment. Maybe she'll write a song about it." The Tesla boardroom itself was designed to intimidate. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the Fremont factory, where thousands of vehicles rolled off production lines daily. The walls displayed prototypes of future Tesla models alongside SpaceX rockets and Neuralink brain chips. Everything in the room screamed technological supremacy and billion-dollar success. As Grande entered the conference room that morning, she looked exactly like what everyone expected, a petite pop star dressed in a simple black business suit, carrying a leather laptop bag. Her security team remained outside while she faced the most intimidating tech boardroom in America alone. She appeared nervous, which only confirmed Musk's assumption that this would be a quick and painless dismissal. Musk didn't stand up to greet her. He gestured casually toward an empty chair across from him, his expression already showing the mild amusement he reserved for encounters he considered wastes of time. His executives, Dr. Chun, VP of Engineering Marcus Rodriguez, and Head of Innovation Lisa Park, settled back in their chairs like spectators preparing to watch a predictable performance. "Miss Grande," he began before she could even sit down, "I appreciate your interest in technology, but I'm curious what makes you think you have something Tesla might need. We're kind of busy revolutionizing transportation, advancing sustainable energy, and preparing to colonize Mars." The Tesla executives around the table chuckled softly. This was vintage Musk, establishing dominance through casual condescension while subtly reminding everyone of his multiple world-changing companies. Grande sat down calmly, placing her laptop on the table but not opening it yet. "Mr. Musk, I understand your skepticism. Most people see me as just a singer who performs in sparkly outfits and writes love songs. But I've been working on something for the past 4 years that I believe could change how we think about energy storage and neural interface technology." Musk's eyebrows raised slightly. The mention of neural interfaces caught his attention. That was Neuralink territory, his brain-computer interface company that was already showing promising results in helping paralyzed patients control computers with their thoughts. Neural interfaces? He repeated with obvious skepticism. Miss Grande, I literally founded the leading company in that field. What could you possibly know about connecting brains to computers? More than you might expect, Grande replied evenly. But perhaps I should show you rather than tell you. Dr. Chen leaned forward slightly. As Tesla's head of advanced research and a former MIT neuroscience professor, she was always interested in new approaches to brain-computer interfaces, regardless of the source. What happened next would be replayed in tech blogs and financial news for months. Grande opened her laptop and began a presentation that would systematically dismantle every assumption in the room. Mr. Musk, you've approached neural interfaces from a hardware perspective, implanting chips to create direct connections between brains and computers. Your Neuralink technology is impressive and has helped paralyzed patients regain some control over their environment. But what if I told you there's a way to achieve similar results using targeted acoustic frequencies that stimulate specific neural pathways without any invasive procedures whatsoever? The room fell silent. Dr. Chen leaned forward with sudden interest. Acoustic neurostimulation was a theoretical field that existed mainly in academic papers and university research labs. The idea of using sound waves to influence brain activity was fascinating but had never been successfully commercialized. Musk's expression shifted from amusement to skepticism. That's interesting science fiction, Miss Grande, but acoustic neurostimulation is decades away from practical application. The frequency precision required would be impossible to achieve outside a laboratory setting. Trust me, we've looked into every possible approach to neural interface technology. Grande smiled for the first time since entering the room. That's exactly what I thought too, until I realized something everyone else missed. The human voice, when properly trained and technologically enhanced, can achieve frequency precision that current acoustic devices simply cannot match. She clicked to her next slide, revealing complex waveform analyses and neural mapping data that looked nothing like what anyone expected from a pop star's presentation. The slide showed brain scans, frequency charts, and mathematical equations that would have been impressive coming from an MIT research team. For the past 4 years, I've been working with MIT's neuroscience department and Stanford's acoustic engineering lab. We've developed a hybrid system that combines human vocal precision with AI-enhanced frequency modulation to create targeted neural stimulation. Dr. Chen was now studying the screen intently. These neural response patterns. Where did you get this data? This looks like legitimate clinical research. From 200 volunteer test subjects across 3 universities, Grande replied matter-of-factly. All work approved by institutional review boards and published in peer-reviewed journals under my legal name, Ariana Grande Butera. I can provide you with the journal citations if you're interested. Musk's confident demeanor was beginning to crack. He had assumed this was a publicity stunt, but the technical data on the screen was sophisticated beyond anything he had expected. The brain scans showed clear patterns of neural activation in response to specific acoustic stimuli, and the frequency analysis was mathematically sound. Marcus Rodriguez, Tesla's VP of Engineering, was frantically taking notes. The precision requirements for this kind of acoustic targeting. How are you achieving frequency stability at the microsecond level? That's where my background becomes relevant, Grande explained. Professional singers develop extraordinary control over vocal frequency, pitch, and harmonic resonance. When combined with real-time AI analysis and biofeedback systems, the human voice becomes the most precise acoustic instrument ever created. She clicked to a demonstration video. This is Dr. James Rodriguez from MIT's Neuroscience Lab. He's attempting a complex mathematical proof that typically takes him 45 minutes to complete. The video showed a researcher working through differential equations on a whiteboard while wearing what appeared to be sophisticated headphones connected to a computer system displaying real-time brainwave patterns. Now watch the same test with our acoustic cognitive enhancement system. The second video showed the same researcher completing the identical proof in 18 minutes, his movements more confident and his mathematical reasoning visibly more efficient. The brainwave patterns on the monitor showed increased activity in areas associated with focus and problem-solving. The cognitive enhancement field could be worth hundreds of billions if this technology scales properly, Dr. Chen whispered to Musk. Lisa Park, Tesla's head of innovation, raised her hand. Miss Grande, what's the theoretical limit on cognitive enhancement? Are we talking about marginal improvements or significant capacity increases? Our testing shows consistent 25 to 35% improvements in complex problem-solving tasks, 40% faster learning acquisition for new skills, and 50% better sustained attention spans during mentally demanding work, Grande replied. But more importantly, the effects appear to be cumulative. Regular users show permanent improvements in cognitive baseline performance. The implications were staggering. If Grande's technology could permanently enhance human cognitive abilities, it wouldn't just be a product, it would be the foundation of a new human capability. Musk was quiet for a long moment, processing what he had witnessed. His initial plan to dismiss Grande quickly had completely evaporated. This wasn't just interesting research, it was potentially revolutionary technology that could reshape how humans interface with complex systems. This is fascinating academic work, he finally said, his tone becoming more serious. But translating laboratory results into commercial technology is an entirely different challenge. The regulatory hurdles alone would be insurmountable. The FDA would never approve something like this. Grande clicked to her next slide. Actually, Mr. Musk, we received FDA breakthrough device designation last month. The therapeutic applications for treating depression, anxiety, ADHD, and early-stage dementia through non-invasive acoustic neurostimulation have fast-track approval potential. The room's energy shifted dramatically. FDA breakthrough device designation was not something given to theoretical concepts or publicity stunts. It required substantial evidence of therapeutic benefit, rigorous safety data, and clear commercial viability. The designation meant Grande's research had already passed multiple levels of government scrutiny. Musk was no longer leaning back casually. He was sitting forward, studying Grande with the intensity he usually reserved for SpaceX engineering challenges or Tesla production problems. Miss Grande, assuming your research is legitimate, and clearly it appears to be, why bring this to Tesla? This sounds more relevant to Neuralink or even a pharmaceutical partnership. Because the real breakthrough isn't just therapeutic, Grande explained, clicking to a slide showing industrial applications. The same acoustic principles can be applied to enhance cognitive performance in healthy individuals. Improved focus, faster learning, enhanced problem-solving abilities, better pattern recognition. Imagine Tesla engineers working with 30% increased cognitive capacity. Imagine SpaceX mission control teams with enhanced attention spans and faster decision-making abilities. She clicked to another demonstration video. This is a Tesla vehicle assembly team in Detroit working on complex wiring harnesses, a task that typically results in 12% error rates due to the intricate nature of the work. The video showed workers carefully installing electrical systems in Tesla vehicles, their movements methodical but occasionally hesitant as they double-checked connection points. Now watch the same team using our cognitive enhancement system. The second video was remarkable. The same workers moved with increased confidence and precision, completing the wiring installation 28% faster with zero errors. Their hand movements were more assured, and they seemed to anticipate potential problems before they occurred. Dr. Chen was frantically taking notes. If this technology could be scaled across our entire workforce, productivity improvements alone would be worth billions annually, Rodriguez finished. Not to mention the competitive advantage of having cognitively enhanced engineers and designers. Musk was beginning to understand the true scope of what Grande was proposing. This wasn't just a product or even a new technology platform, it was a fundamental enhancement to human capability that could transform entire industries. Miss Grande, what exactly are you proposing? He asked with a directness that had made him famous. Partnership, she replied simply. Tesla provides the engineering infrastructure, manufacturing capability, and global distribution network. I provide the acoustic technology, the regulatory pathway, and the clinical research foundation. Together, we create the first commercial cognitive enhancement system and revolutionize how humans interact with complex technology. And why not just license your technology to us? Musk asked with his usual business instincts. Tesla could develop the commercial applications independently. Grande's expression became more serious, and her next words would prove to be the turning point that transformed triumph into disaster. Because, Mr. Musk, with respect, your approach to innovation is often exclusive. This technology has the potential to democratize cognitive enhancement, to give ordinary people extraordinary capabilities. I want to ensure it remains accessible rather than becoming another luxury product for the wealthy elite. The implication hung in the air like a challenge. Grande was essentially telling the world's richest man that she didn't trust him to use her technology responsibly, that his track record suggested he would price cognitive enhancement out of reach for average people. Musk's face darkened. This was not how these meetings typically went. Entrepreneurs came to him seeking investment and guidance, not lecturing him about social responsibility or questioning his business ethics. The criticism stung particularly because it contained an element of truth. Tesla vehicles remained expensive despite promises of affordable electric cars. Miss Grande, his voice took on the edge that had made countless executives uncomfortable over the years. I think you may be overestimating the value of your research. Tesla is focused on practical innovations that can scale globally and generate sustainable returns. What you're describing sounds more like an academic curiosity than a serious commercial opportunity. The dismissal was classic Musk, polite on the surface but devastating in its condescension. He was essentially telling Grande that her breakthrough research was nothing more than an interesting science project. Furthermore, Musk continued, his arrogance now fully engaged, cognitive enhancement technology raises serious ethical questions about human equality and social fairness. Perhaps it's better left in university laboratories rather than being commercialized prematurely. Dr. Chen looked uncomfortable. The research Grande had presented was clearly legitimate and potentially revolutionary, but Musk's ego had been wounded by her implied criticism of his business practices. Grande closed her laptop calmly, her expression remaining professional despite the obvious insult. I understand your position, Mr. Musk. I had hoped Tesla might be interested in being part of the next technological revolution, but I respect your decision to prioritize other considerations. As she gathered her materials, Musk felt confident he had handled the situation appropriately. Another celebrity entrepreneur had been politely but firmly redirected back to their lane. The fact that her research appeared legitimate didn't matter if she wasn't willing to accept standard industry business practices. Miss Grande, he said as she stood to leave, I do wish you luck with your project. Perhaps you'll find someone more suited to academic partnerships. Maybe a university research lab would be interested. The condescension in his voice was unmistakable. He was suggesting that her breakthrough technology belonged in academia rather than serious commercial development. Grande paused at the door and turned back with a small smile that Musk would later realize contained far more confidence than he had recognized. Actually, Mr. Musk, I should mention, I have a meeting with Microsoft this afternoon and Google tomorrow. But thank you for your time and perspective. As the door closed behind her, Musk felt satisfied with how he had handled what he still considered an amusing distraction. His executives began discussing their next agenda item, and the meeting with Ariana Grande quickly faded from immediate consideration. Well, that was interesting, Dr. Chen said carefully. Her research did seem quite advanced. Academic research always looks impressive in PowerPoint presentations, Musk replied dismissively. Commercial viability is an entirely different matter. We have real work to focus on. What none of them realized was that in exactly 57 minutes, everything would change in ways that would make this moment the most expensive mistake in Tesla's corporate history. At 2:17 p.m., while Musk was reviewing SpaceX launch schedules in his private office, his assistant burst through the door without knocking, something that had never happened in 5 years of working for him. Sir, you need to see the news immediately, she said, her face pale with shock. Microsoft had just announced a revolutionary partnership with Ariana Grande Butera to develop the world's first commercial cognitive enhancement system. The press release detailed the exact technology Grande had presented to Tesla that morning, complete with FDA approval status, MIT research validation, and a development timeline that would bring the technology to market within 18 months. But that wasn't the devastating part. The Microsoft announcement included a direct statement from Grande. We're grateful to have found a partner who shares our vision of making cognitive enhancement technology accessible to everyone, not just those who can afford luxury tech products. Microsoft's commitment to democratizing technology aligns perfectly with our mission to enhance human potential across all socioeconomic levels. The implication was clear and brutal. Grande was publicly suggesting that other major tech companies, specifically Tesla, had turned down the opportunity because they weren't interested in accessible technology, preferring to keep revolutionary capabilities limited to wealthy customers. Within minutes, tech blogs exploded with the story. Microsoft lands breakthrough cognitive enhancement technology after Tesla passes, read the TechCrunch headline. Ariana Grande, the pop star who outsmarted Elon Musk, announced Wired magazine. How Tesla lost the future of human enhancement, declared Fortune. But the real shock came at 2:34 p.m. when Google announced they were partnering with Microsoft and Grande to integrate the cognitive enhancement technology into Google Workspace, educational platforms, and Android devices. The partnership would create the first ecosystem where cognitive enhancement became part of daily digital interaction. The two announcements together revealed that Grande hadn't just developed interesting academic research. She had orchestrated partnerships with Tesla's biggest competitors that could potentially make Tesla's workforce less competitive in an industry where cognitive advantage was everything. Musk's phone was already ringing with calls from Tesla board members demanding explanations. How had they allowed a pop star to slip away with technology that could give their competitors a massive strategic advantage? At 2:41 p.m., the financial markets responded with devastating swiftness. Tesla stock dropped 12% in 17 minutes as investors realized the implications. If Microsoft and Google could enhance their workers' cognitive abilities while Tesla could not, the competitive landscape of the tech industry had just shifted dramatically in favor of Tesla's rivals. Dr. Chin knocked on Musk's office door, her face pale and her usual composure completely shattered. Elon, I've been reviewing the research papers Grande mentioned. She wasn't exaggerating about anything. This technology could give Microsoft and Google a 25 to 30% productivity advantage over our teams, not to mention the commercial applications. Musk was staring at his computer screen, watching Tesla's stock price continue to plummet as financial analysts appeared on CNBC discussing the strategic implications of the Microsoft-Google Grande partnership. Sir, his assistant added quietly, Bloomberg is reporting that Apple is trying to schedule an emergency meeting with Miss Grande for tomorrow morning. The technology that Musk had dismissed as an academic curiosity was now being pursued by every major tech company in America. His arrogance had not only cost Tesla a revolutionary partnership, it had handed that advantage directly to his biggest competitors. At 2:48 p.m., his assistant announced that Ariana Grande's representatives were on the phone. Mr. Musk, came the voice of her attorney, Miss Grande wanted me to let you know that the offer she presented this morning will remain open for 24 hours if Tesla reconsiders its position. After that, Microsoft's exclusivity agreement takes effect and no further partnerships will be possible. Musk found himself in the impossible position of having to ask for a second chance from someone he had condescendingly dismissed just hours earlier. The woman he had treated as an amusing distraction now held the key to Tesla's competitive future. Tell Miss Grande, he said quietly, swallowing his pride for one of the few times in his career, that I would very much like to schedule another meeting to discuss partnership terms. By the close of trading that day, Tesla had lost $47 billion in market value. Financial analysts called it the fastest self-inflicted market capitalization loss in tech history, surpassing even the most dramatic cryptocurrency crashes. The story exploded across all media platforms. How Elon Musk's arrogance cost Tesla $47 billion became the most read business article of the year. Forbes featured Grande on their cover with the headline, "The Entrepreneur Elon Musk Underestimated." Harvard Business Review published a case study titled, "When Disruption Comes from Unexpected Sources, Lessons from the Grande-Musk Confrontation." Late-night television had a field day with the story. Apparently, the only thing higher than Ariana Grande's vocal range is her IQ, joked Stephen Colbert on The Late Show. Who knew the key to outsmarting Elon Musk was perfect pitch and a PhD-level understanding of neuroscience? Saturday Night Live dedicated an entire sketch to the confrontation, with Kate McKinnon playing an arrogant Musk and Ariana Grande herself appearing as a guest to play her own role in the boardroom scene. 3 days later, Tesla announced they would be developing their own cognitive enhancement research program, but industry experts noted they were now at least 3 years behind Microsoft and Google's partnership with Grande. The announcement caused Tesla stock to drop another 8% as investors recognized it as a desperate attempt to recover lost ground. The most painful part for Musk wasn't the financial loss. He had lost billions before and recovered through innovation and determination. It was the realization that his own arrogance had blinded him to legitimate innovation simply because it came from an unexpected source. 6 months later, during a rare interview about the incident with Joe Rogan, Musk admitted his mistake with characteristic directness. I learned that genius can emerge from anywhere, and assuming someone's limitations based on their public persona is a costly error in judgment. Ariana Grande taught me that underestimating people based on preconceptions is the fastest way to lose competitive advantage. Ariana Grande, meanwhile, had become Silicon Valley's most unlikely success story. Her cognitive enhancement technology was being implemented in Fortune 500 companies worldwide, and she had founded what was rapidly becoming one of the most valuable neurotechnology companies in history. Time magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people, describing her as the artist who became an accidental tech revolutionary. The lesson resonated throughout the tech industry. Innovation doesn't care about your background, your previous industry, or whether people take you seriously based on your public image. It only cares about whether your ideas work and whether you can execute them effectively. And sometimes, the biggest mistake a tech mogul can make is assuming they're the smartest person in the room, especially when that assumption blinds them to breakthrough innovations that could reshape entire industries. The Grande-Musk confrontation became required reading in business schools, a cautionary tale about how arrogance and preconceptions can cost billions and change the competitive landscape overnight.